Yeah, I'll react to that, sure.
Okay, it's pop quiz.
Hi, guys. I have gotten a lot of Australian viewers. I think probably because of the I was only 19 video that I have like over 400,000 views in just like 2 weeks on that, which is insane. Didn't expect that. But I feel like whenever I get an influx of a certain country, an influx of subscribers, viewers from a certain country, I like to reward that and just not reward it. Just I have more of you guys, and I want to do some Australia content. Let's go. Bright side, 44.2 million. 50 things that are only possible in Australia. Should I make a joke? Never mind. Dying to everything. Sorry. Okay.
Okay, it's pop quiz time. Which country has the longest fence in the world?
Australia.
How about the second largest Greek population?
Australia. Everything's going to be Australia. Yeah, isn't there a giant fence like going right through the outback? Almost like cutting Australia in half. I'm not sure if it goes exactly from the Southern Ocean coast, or is that the Indian, to like straight south to north through the middle?
Times more sheep than people? Okay, one word will give it away. Kangaroos! Yeah, I'm talking about the land down under. So, what do you know about Australia? So, let's start with the name.
That's Steve Irwin is from there, and he was a freaking legend, and I cried when he passed away.
Australia comes from the Latin word Australis, which means southern. Way back in the 2nd century, there were legends of a mysterious Terra Australis incognita, or unknown southern land. Well, now it's very known. So let's get to know more about it. Despite the stereotypes of hot, sunny weather year-round, the Australian Alps, which are the highest mountain range in the country, get more snow than the Swiss Alps do. Better grab your skis. The world's longest national highway is in Australia.
What? Serious. Excuse me?
Types of hot, sunny weather year-round. The Australian Alps, which are the highest mountain range in the country, get more snow than the Swiss Alps do.
Seriously?
Better grab your skis. The world's longest national highway is in Australia. It stretches for over 9,000 miles. For comparison, the Earth's diameter is about 7,900 miles. It's actually a network of highways that connects all capitals of the mainland states. Now, I'm sure you've heard of the Great
Tallest mountain in Australia. 9,006 feet? Okay, that's actually higher than I would have thought. Huh? I'm assuming that's an Australian, territory. And okay, so, okay.
Wall of China. But what about the Great Fence of Australia? Okay, that's not what it's called, but still, the Dingo Fence in southeast Australia stretches for nearly 3,500 miles.
Went more
for comparison, it would easily cover the entire span of the U.S., from Los Angeles to Houghton, Maine.
Jeez.
Now, it might not be so surprising to know that Australia is huge. It's about the same size as the continental U.S., about 2,500 miles wide. The distance from the west to east coast is further than Barcelona to Moscow. In all, Australia is the world's 6th largest country and the only one that's also...
What countries are larger? Russia, Canada, U.S., China? Did I just name them?
In all, Australia is the world's 6th largest...
Russia, Canada, U.S., China, Brazil? I would have thought Australia was bigger than Brazil.
Largest country and the only one that's also a whole continent. But with all that territory, over 80% of Australians live within 60 miles of the coast. This makes the country one of the most coastal dwelling populations in the world.
Isn't Alice
And that
Springs,
means a whole lot of beaches. In fact, they have so many that if you decided to visit a new beach every day, it would take you almost 30 years to see them all. The biggest property in Australia is about 40,000 square miles in area. South Korea could fit into it with room to spare. The country's termites are busy building huge properties as well.
What does it mean, the biggest property? Like someone owns that?
Their mounds are the tallest animal-made structures on this planet. Before humans arrived, the continent was home to megafauna. If you lived there about 46,000 years ago, you'd be dead today. But you would have seen 10-foot-tall kangaroos, 23-foot-long goanna lizards, and ducks the size of an adult horse. Quack, quack.
What?
The largest
So that thing, would you rather fight 1,000 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck? Isn't that crazy?
living structure on the planet is the Australian Great Barrier Reef. By the way, it has its own mailbox, and there's a rumor that the fish there use eel mail. Yeah. Neither kangaroos nor emus can walk backward. That's a fact. And that's why they're painted on the Australian coat of arms. Keep moving forward. The platypus, an egg-laying mammal that lives only in Australia, is one of the rare venomous.
Guys, so clear up this. So marsupials are mammals, right? It's not like mammals, it's like marsupial is like a subcategory in the bigger mammal category.
Mammals on this planet. Luckily, while the venom has an excruciatingly painful effect on people, it's not lethal. The takeaway? Don't fuss with a platypus. By the way, when the first platypus was brought to England, people there were sure that it was a joke. The English believed that Australians had sewn a duck's bill onto a rat's body to play a trick on them. Yeah, right up until he bit them. Not laughing now, are you? Swimming in the surf during the day had been illegal in Australia up until 1902. But after one guy calmly entered the waves of Manly Beach one afternoon that year, surf bathing became increasingly popular. The largest Greek population outside
Why was that?
during the day had been illegal in. Not laughing now, are you? Swimming in the surf during the day had been illegal in Australia.
But it was legal at night? That seems more dangerous. Why?
How are you? Swimming in the surf during the day had been illegal in Australia up until 1902. But after one guy calmly entered the waves of Manly Beach one afternoon that year, surf bathing became increasingly popular. The largest Greek population outside of Greece itself is in Australia. Actually, to be more precise, in Melbourne. More than 160,000 people who live there say they come from Greek descent. Melbourne was the richest city in the world in 1880. These days, Tokyo, Japan holds this title. And until 2018, Melbourne had been rated as the most livable city in the world for 7 years in a row. But then it was bumped down to second place after Vienna, Austria. Come on, Melbourne, get back in the game. One of Melbourne's founders was John Batman. Yep, that was his real name. And get this, the city was temporarily called Batmania. Too bad they decided to change it to Robinville? Nah. In 2018, Australia ranked third after Norway and Switzerland on the Human Development Index. This index is based on education, life expectancy, and citizens' income. Basically, they got a good thing going down under there. In 2005, security guards at the Parliament House in Canberra were prohibited from calling people mate. But the ban only lasted for a day, mate. G'day. If you're ever in Western Australia, you can visit one of their many super salty pink lakes. They get the bubblegum hue from a certain type of algae and bacteria, and they're totally safe to swim in. Just be careful what you chew. Oh, and be sure to take a selfie while you're swimming in
would that make you have like super wrinkly skin getting out?
Careful what you chew. Oh, and be sure to take a selfie while you're swimming in what looks like a giant pool of Pepto-Bismol.
Pepto-Bismol.
You can thank Australia for coming up with the word selfie in the first place. There are about
Shortening
74 million sheep to 25 million people in Australia, which makes an impressive ratio of 3 to 1. Only China and India have more than that. Oh, and the kangaroo thing is totally true. There are twice as many kangaroos as there are people there. That's 50 to 25 million. Speaking of which, when a baby kangaroo is born, it's only half an inch long. It's also hairless and totally pink. Kind of looks like a gummy bear. What else is there in Australia? Oh, that's right, koalas. And to top that, there are 10 times more.
I heard that koalas are so unintelligent that they'll only eat they'll only eat eucalyptus leaves that are on a branch, and that if you like leave them a bunch of eucalyptus leaves in their pen or whatever, like they won't know. They like only will eat it on a stick. I don't mean to hate on the koala.
Camels than koalas. And to top that, there are 10 times more camels than koalas.
Indigenous?
Australia is the source of a lot of the Middle East's camels.
Oh.
Now, in Western Australia, it's against the law to be in possession.
Camels came from Australia? No, how is that possible? No, there's no way. Because there are camels all the way up in like the Gobi Desert, right?
Of more than 100. Now, in Western Australia, it's against the law to be in possession of more than 110 pounds of potatoes. Well, every country has its obscure, bizarre laws. The architect of the world-famous Sydney Opera House got the idea of this unique construction while munching on an orange. If you combine all the sails of the building's roof, you'll get a perfect sphere. The most ancient fossils in the world were found in Australia. They were no less than 3.4 billion years old, even older than my
What? Are you sure about that? Because hasn't the Earth only been around for about 4 billion years? And I think it'd take a lot more than 600 million years to get down to 3.4 billion. Because it's just molten everything. Are you sure about that? I'm not denying that the first fossils were found in Australia. I thought life was not even 3.4 billion years old on Earth. I could be wrong. I'm no expert.
Leftovers in the fridge. There are so many different species in this country that only 25% of them have been discovered so far. Of the animals discovered to be.
How would you know what percentage have been discovered if you haven't discovered the other ones? What the heck does that mean?
Native to Australia.
Am I being annoying?
Discovered so far. Of the animals discovered to be native to Australia, none have hooves. Burger King miraculously turns into Hungry Jack's as soon as you land in Australia. It's the Aussie franchise of the famous fast food chain. Australia is a unique continent that doesn't house any active volcanoes. It's also the flattest continent on our planet. But it's got plenty of mountains, and one of them is called Mount Disappointment. It's just 2,600 feet tall, and naturally, explorers William Hovell and Hamilton Hume expected to see a great view from the top. However, after climbing the mountain, they discovered that there were too many trees growing on top and blocking the view completely. Guess how the men felt?
Oh. What are we gonna this Mount Disappointment. That is hilarious.
Uh-huh. Australia has tons of unique flora and fauna species
That'll
that you
kill
won't
you.
find anywhere else in the world. Among those are a staggering 1,500 spider species. Spider species, yeah. On the bright side, and we are, while some of them are fatally poisonous, most are completely harmless. But how do I tell them apart?
So I weigh like 185 pounds, okay? What is that in kilos? I think that's like 90 kilos or 85. Then, so if I got bitten by a full-grown, I think the females are worse than the males. Like if I got bitten by a full-grown funnel web spider and I got no medical attention, would I likely survive? Like, will it only kill someone who's like smaller? Or is there like a good chance I'm gonna not make it?
Oh, the poisonous ones were signs. Got it. It's also where you'll find 21 of the world's top 25 most venomous snakes. More than 90% of Australia is covered with some kind of vegetation.
Where does the number one most
Since
venomous
1988, Australia has had a national floral emblem, and it's the golden wattle. When this plant blooms, it gets covered with the country's national colors, green and gold. Australia is a multinational country with more than
When he said the oldest fossils in the world, was he referring to those like stacks of bacteria off like the western coast of Australia that are billions of years old and were probably like the first life forms that filled the planet with oxygen or something? Is that what he was talking about?
200 different languages and dialects spoken there.
Aboriginal.
The most popular non-English languages are Mandarin, Greek, Arabic, Vietnamese, and Cantonese. There are 19 UNESCO World Heritage Sites in Australia, including 12 natural sites, 3 cultural sites, and 4 mixed sites. The difference between Australia's total length and its width is only 200 miles. Hey, do you have an 8-hour working day? You can thank Australian stonemasons for that. In 1865, they demanded to make 8-hour shifts the standard, and it spread throughout the world from there. With 8 people per square mile, Australia has an extremely low population density. For comparison, there are about 93 people per square mile in the U.S. The national Australian airline, Qantas, uses recycled cooking oil to power its interstate flights. So, have I missed any cool cooking oil? The national Australian airline, Qantas, uses recycled cooking oil to power its interstate flights. So, have I missed any cool facts about Australia? Let me know down in the comments. If you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share it with a friend. But hey, don't go waltzing Matilda just yet. We have over 2,000 cool videos for you to check out. All you have to do is pick.
It's a cool video. I called out a few of them for being, but who knows? I'm no expert in any of this stuff. Really good video though. Thanks to all you Aussies for subscribing lately and watching lately. And yeah, thank you very much. I hope you guys are all doing well. Hope you learned something or can teach me something. Can't wait to see your comments. And I will see you guys next time. All right. See you tomorrow. Bye, guys.